Hello everybody. Been talking about doing this for a couple of weeks, and I think I'm going to start today, and that is talking about temperament and my hypothesis that we are a group with a shared temperament. And in this video I'm going to just talk a little bit about my interest in it, and then also I'm going to talk about what temperament is, and then kind of build from that. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. I am smoking a no-name briar. That's actually kind of not a bad looking pipe. Very simple. Kind of like, I don't know if you can see that. Got kind of a cool design on it. Smoked pretty good. Paid $20 for it at a local tobacconist. And smoking a little bit of my daily blend, which is evolving. I use my high dollar mixer to blend these things. Right here. I put my blends in and then I give it a good shake, and there it stays. You can find these relatively easy at most of your grocery stores. They're about $8 to $10. They're full of some kind of black stuff that I just throw out. I don't know what it is or what's in it, but the blender works really well. Now that I got my pipe going, got me a good cup of coffee. Let's talk about temperament. Well, in a second, once the noise settles down. Life with ferrets. Ain't it grand? Ferrets have a natural hatred for shoes, as you can see. That's their home, but they're out of the cage a bunch. Hello, Peebly. But I digress. Oh, what a surprise! Anyway, in this video, I want to talk about temperament and what it is and my interest in it and where it came from. I actually taped this once before that was real long and kind of self-indulgent. So let me give you the Reader's Digest version of how I got into temperament. I pastored a evangelical Episcopal church for several years, so that might answer a couple of questions. I know some people are like, well, I know he's not Roman Catholic, but he's becoming a monk or is a monk, and he's been a priest, and he's got a wife, so that ought to answer a couple of questions. And that's probably about as interesting as that gets. But I was pastoring a church, and of course in a church people have a lot of problems, and they come to their priest, or their pastor, or their preacher, whatever you want to call the guy. And some are very good at it, some are well trained, most are not, to be quite honest with you. Even though I had some advanced training and a couple of some certifications, I even had an advanced degree in theology, primarily Eastern Orthodox theology, which is where my interest lies when it just comes to reading theology. Anyway, they'd come to me, I'd try to help them deal with their issues. I finally realized I'm just not equipped to do this. So I got into a research, and it's been about 2.5 years looking for a program that was going to be effective. It needed to be something that kind of came with a toolbox, so to speak. And with that toolbox, I mean give people tools that they can go on and go out and solve their own issues. Kind of the old saying, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Well, that's what I needed. It needed to be affordable, it needed to be where I could stay home and pastor the church and keep my full-time job at the prison. So in other words, it needed to be alternate education. And needed to be something that I felt confident using, and it also reflected my belief system, which of course. So I was fortunate enough, blessed enough, guided to, I guess, whatever you want to say, to find the National Christian Counselors Association, and they have a program through a variety of seminaries throughout America, and I enrolled at the Colorado Theological Seminary, which is a seminary that is not brick and mortar, and enrolled in their program. And the whole program is based upon, of course, the coursework, doing evaluations, being mentored through this, and ultimately I gained my PhD in pastoral counseling. And it's all based on temperament, and that's what I'm going to talk about now, is what is temperament. So, temperament. Temperament is based on a simple thought, one that a lot of people don't agree with. I can only say that just because somebody doesn't believe something doesn't mean it's not true. There was a lot of people for a long time that believed the world was flat, and it turned out that wasn't true. But anyway, the basic belief is this, that there is a creator. And what I do is actually called creation therapy. But people have asked for tens of thousands of years, I suppose, what is the purpose of mankind? Why are we here? Well, the simple answer is, from my school of thought, is we're here to have relationships. And the relationships, while pretty vast, kind of break down into four categories. We're here to have relationships with one another, hence we do this on YouTube. This is about relationships for most of us. So we're here to have relationships with other people. We're here to have a relationship with the created world, with matter. We interact with matter, we have a relationship with matter, and that includes our pets and things of that nature. We're here to have relationships. And we're here, of course, in our school of thought, to have a relationship with the Creator, who we call God. We're here to have a relationship with Him, and that is a give and take relationship. And another one, the fourth one, and I'm not listing these in order of priority, of course, but we're also here to have a relationship with ourselves. This truly is a journey of discovery, and it's designed specifically to be that. And I think we often forget that we're here to have a relationship with ourselves. So, very briefly, what is temperament? And I am not going into any great detail, because it can get real drawn out, but I'll hopefully tell you enough to at least make what I'm doing make sense. Temperament and the use of temperament therapy is specifically designed to deal with those relationships with others, the created world around us, with God, and with ourselves. So temperament, first and foremost, is something important to understand. Temperament is not personality. People often, I'll give this, there's a test that you give, and it gives a computer printout, and it's very effective and very enlightening and very insightful, and I encourage everybody to get this done. You can go online, there are people who will do it online. I'm not going to do that because it costs money, and I'm not comfortable taking money from my friends. So, but if anybody's interested in getting their temperament analysis, it can be done. Anyway, temperament is inborn. It's below the level of personality. John, Matches 860, the other day, gave a pretty good example when he was talking about how he interacts with people, when he's at work, when he's with his family, when he's with his best friend, when he's hanging out with the pastor of his church. That's personality, and that is ever-changing, ever-evolving, and it's not stable. Temperament is stable. You're born with it, and you're going to have it all your life. You can fight against it, or you can go with the flow, but fighting against it's where a lot of I cut myself off. What I was saying was, when you fight against your temperament, that's where a lot of our conflicts come from. So this is what temperament affects. It's inborn, and it determines how we react to persons, places, and things. It determines how people react and interact with their environment. It affects our perceptions of ourselves and our perceptions of other people. And it is the determining factor on how well we handle stress and pressure. And we all know that there's certain people that handle a great deal of stress and it doesn't really seem to faze them, and there's others that the littlest things in life will kind of set them off. And one of the most important things, temperament affects how we process information, and that we are relational beings, but we're also informational processing beings. We're taking in and giving off tens of thousands of bits of information every day. So that's basically what temperament is. It's that underlying thing that affects how we view life, how we view ourselves, how we view others, how we process information. So it's kind of an important bit of information. Sadly, most people don't even know it exists, or they don't know what theirs is. And there's ways of finding out, which I mentioned. But that's what temperament is. And what I'm going to do probably in the next video is talk about the different areas of temperament, and then talk about the 5 separate temperaments. And nobody really falls into any one temperament. There's usually a blend. My little hypothesis here is that we fall into a blend of 2 particular temperaments, which I'll go into. And one of the things I'm going to try to do is steal a page from Jay's playbook and come up with 10 questions. And I haven't done that yet because I'm trying to think of a way to do 10 questions that isn't too personal, that people might feel comfortable answering, and just kind of go. And like I say, this is all just educated guess on my part. And I'm really doing this out of curiosity and a desire to learn more about you guys and gals out there, and just I hope you find it somewhat interesting. And so I'm going to kind of run with it. But this is episode number 1 on pipe smoking temperament. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. See you soon.